Add to cart, add to cart. Ooh, I don't think I need that one. Remove from cart. I don't have that in hot pink. Add 3 to cart. I think that seems like a... Oh my god, I didn't realize... Oh crap, I'm supposed to be recording. Saving money on your cats can be tough. With the cost of litter, food, toys, and environmental enrichment like cat trees, it can add up really quickly. Thankfully, there are ways that you can save money while still meeting the needs of your cat. Given the rising costs of things, I want to help you save a little bit of money on your cat. I have 9 ideas for things that can help you save money, and 3 things that may seem like a good idea, but they're actually going to cost you in the long run. Take advantage of auto-ship discounts. If you tend to order the same things over and over again, for example, the same type of food or same type of litter every month, why not have it sent to you and save a little bit of money? You can usually save around 5% on auto ship depending on where you order from, but that small amount adds up over time. I get my cats' food and litter sent to me every month, and I don't even have to think about it. It has that added bonus too, where you don't have to worry about forgetting. It just gets sent to you. There are a lot of retailers that offer auto ship. I get mine through Chewy, who is not sponsoring this. I just have had good experiences with them. If you would rather go with a local retailer, there are many that do also offer auto ship, and you can even pick them up in stores in some cases. See what's around you. Some retailers will occasionally offer gift cards if you spend over a certain amount. If you can do that, that's a great way to basically get that money back. Stock up on non-perishable things for your cats when you can. For example, litter is something that you tend to go through, and if you have the storage space, it's worth spending a little bit more upfront. I've done that before when I've noticed sales, and I've decided, okay, you know what? I'm just gonna get some of my cats' food a little bit early. They're gonna be fed anyway. I might as well get the $30 gift card or whatever. You'll spend the gift card anyway, you might as well save the $30, or however much the gift card is for. One thing you shouldn't do is skip the vet. I realize that sounds counterintuitive because going to the vet can be expensive. However, your veterinarian is going to catch a lot of things earlier in your cat. Rather than spending a ton of money treating an illness and having that stress later on, it's better to get things taken care of and cut off early. Ultimately, you're going to save money by having your vet check in with your cat regularly. If you're crafty, doing things yourself can be a great way to save money, especially if you have things around the home already. You can't make everything yourself, but if you happen to have supplies to make something for your cat and you can do it in a way that's safe, you can save a lot of money. For example, a lot of commercially available litter boxes are actually a bit too small for cats, and they can be pretty expensive. Instead of buying one, grab a storage tote and turn it into a litter box by cutting out an entrance and sanding down the edges. It's a great way to save a little bit of money because a storage tub will cost you like $10, and a litter box that's designed to be a litter box might cost you double that or more. It's a great way to make not only a cat-friendly litter box, but save a little bit of money. Rather than buying things, use things that you have around the house. Great example of this is if you're ordering things online anyway, take those cardboard boxes and turn them into an enrichment activity for your cat. You can take crinkly paper and put it in a cardboard box, and then toss a handful of treats or kibble into the box. That way your cat has a do-it-yourself food puzzle. You can take little pieces of kibble or snacks and put them on dishes and hide those around your home for your cat to find. That's a fun foraging and hunting game. If you're looking for an easy way to make a toy more exciting, turn a solo play toy into a wand toy. For example, you can take those teeny tiny little catnip-filled mice and attach a string to them and then attach it to a wand, and you've made your own wand toy. Learning about cat behavior and what cats like will save you money. There's a lot of gimmicky marketing out there that people try and sell you things for your cat that your cat's not gonna like. If you understand what types of things cats like, you're going to save money because you're not gonna spend as much money on junk. Or you're going to be able to pick out which things your cat specifically likes. Take some time to educate yourself on what things cats prefer and think about your cat first, because ultimately, whatever it is, it's for your cat. Understanding cats can also help you decide what to prioritize. Prioritize the things that you don't have or the behavioral needs of cats that you aren't already meeting. That'll save you from spending a bunch of money on things that you might already have met a need or you don't need more of it. Listen to your individual cat. Your cat is telling you what they like. Every cat has preferences, and sometimes we like to buy them things that are going to meet a need for us where we think, oh, this looks fun, I like this, but does your cat like it? Listen to them on what types of flavors they like, what types of treats, what types of toys, and buy similar things. That doesn't mean don't ever experiment or don't ever try new things, but if you have the choice between buying something that's similar to something that you know your cat will like, or buying something totally out there that it's kind of a mystery and a big risk, go with the thing that you know is going to be a hit with your cat. One really important and potentially dangerous thing that you should avoid doing is cutting your cat's food to save money. I know cat food can be expensive, and I do have a couple of solutions coming up about how to save money on cat food. However, from a behavior standpoint and from a health and safety standpoint, it can be dangerous if you underfeed your cat. I see a lot of clients that run into issues because they try and cut their cat's food, or they try and cut their cat's food too quickly if they are on a weight loss journey, as my cat Poutine is. If you go too fast with reducing your cat's food, you're going to run into all sorts of behavior issues. I've seen inter-cat aggression, I've seen aggression towards humans, I've seen litter box issues, I've seen cats eating couches before. Speaking of which, if it's between feeding your cat less and feeding them a less desirable food, chances are your cat's going to be better off temporarily going with the slightly less desirable food. For example, I know that feeding cats kibble can be kind of controversial, and we're not going to wade into that debate. However, a small amount of kibble may be okay in moderation and temporarily if you can't afford enough food for your cat, but you can do a little bit of kibble. There's nothing wrong with doing that temporarily and then eventually switching back once things settle a little bit, or you can afford to feed them the regular food that you feed them. You should always run any dietary changes by your vet and check with your vet about how much to feed your cat. They'll be able to help you figure out if you're overfeeding your cat, and you may be able to cut back a little bit on feeding them and save some money that way. They can also help you pick out a food that is going to keep your cat healthy and isn't going to break the bank. If you are really struggling with paying for food, don't be afraid to use local resources. A lot of food banks and resources for people with low incomes offer pet food these days, and there are nonprofits and charities that offer pet food or help with assistance of care for animals. These resources are great, and they can help you get through a rough patch. Remember, those charities exist for people who need them, and if you need them, there's nothing wrong with utilizing those resources. If you do feel really guilty about it, give back once you're in a better position. There's nothing wrong with needing a little bit of help once in a while. We've got one more thing to do and one more thing to avoid. Actually, we've got two things to do. You should hit subscribe so then you can get notified when I put out new videos about cat behavior. After you do that, look at exchanging things with others. That might mean exchanging things with friends or family members that also have cats. If their cats don't like something that they got them, swap it with something that you have that your cat doesn't like. This helps prevent waste and it saves money for all involved, so it's a win-win. Now, some cats are going to be particularly territorial about certain things, so if you're worried about that, leave the items out for a while so then the pheromones and the scent of the other cat can dissipate a little bit. Eventually, you should be able to bring it in and allow a new cat to use it. They will replace the smell of the old cat by rubbing against it and leaving their pheromones and generally using it. If your cat does tend to be particularly reactive to the scent of other cats, though, you might just want to skip that one, or only use something that their cat just completely didn't use. Another option is looking at your local Buy Nothing group, or a similar style of group where people freely exchange things that they don't need but are perfectly usable and give them to other people who might need them. This is a great resource for cat stuff because people often have things that their cats don't like, and they will give them away to others so then they can see if their cats like them, so then a cat gets to enjoy that fun toy or that cat tree or whatever it is. It's a great way to save money and prevent waste. Let's wrap up with one final thing to not do. I know I just talked about not buying things, but sometimes you do need to buy something new, or there's a reason that you have to buy something and you can't just exchange it with someone else. In these situations, Don't go for cheap stuff. I know it can be tempting to save money by picking out the really flimsy and cheap cat tree that is going to cost you $4, or the cheapo cat scratcher that's going to fall over with a slight breeze. That might seem like a great way to get more stuff for your cat, but oftentimes cats don't like those things. They aren't necessarily designed with cats in mind. They're often just designed to be cheap. You're going to be wasting your money because you're either going to have to throw it out or you may have to replace it. Things like scratching posts you eventually will have to replace because they're literally designed to be destroyed by your cat. However, things that are better made are going to last longer, and they're going to get more use by your cat, which is what ultimately counts. Getting high quality things and spreading them out throughout your home can be better than getting a whole bunch of cheap crap. Don't go for cheap stuff just because it's cheap. Oh man, that was a lot to go through. I hope that you found some of these tips useful. Now go out there and add to AutoShip. Save that 5%.